Welcome everyone. This is the Lionsgate 888 for the year 2025. All right. Okay. There are a couple of things that we need to touch on. Okay. At the moment, we have Pluto in Aquarius. We also have the Aquarius full moon that is coming up 9th of August. And we have Saturn in retrograde. Okay. Then we also have Mercury in retrograde, and that is in Leo, okay? Because we're still in the Leo season. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because listen, this year is unbelievable, okay? I've been telling a lot of you guys that this year is going to be an absolutely crazy year that is going to be taking place, and I am seeing it. I can look at people and just recognize that they're really spiraling out of rhythm. Okay, they're really spiraling. When I look at people, it's like, yeah, I'm seeing this happen now. This is going to be, and what is also coming up, the sentience beams have connected with world leaders. They are going to be coming around October 29th. Okay, so again, the sentience beams have connected with the world leaders, and they're going to be appearing in the month of October, around the 29th of October. That is before Halloween. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, listen, buckle up. And I really mean this. I really mean this, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because things are about to hit the fence. A lot of people are going to be blown out of the water. And all of you people that just thought that we as the light givers were just playing around. No, we weren't. Okay, so a lot of light workers, or light beam star seeds, I should say, star seeds, you're feeling it. You know it's coming. You know what is coming. Your energy, your frequency, you're booming out of energy. Okay, and what I also need to say to you star seeds, get ready. The sentience that are coming in, they were given authority from the Galactic Federation to come in, because the world leaders do not want to make the world understand that we are not alone. Okay, you have sentience beam over the ice wall. You have sentience beam in under the water, in the oceans. You have sentience beams. This is the reason why that we cannot go to the South Pole. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, this year is going to be a year where the lies, or the control, or the matrix is going to be broken. Okay. You can see this, that this is all happening in many countries around the world. It is something that I wrote in my book. If you want to pick up the book, is Enlightenment, Removing the Veil of Illusion. And the book was named that because a lot of people were not enlightened. What we were taught in schools is not really what it is, okay? We were programmed to be taught material information in schools, and never thought that we use our divine purposes for what we brought forward into this world, okay? I'd like to advise someone. I know you're having a lot of freight at this time. You're very worried that you leak certain information. But we as light code beams, and we as star beams, we already know that this was going to happen in October. So we are going to be asking the Galactic Federation to put extra protection around you. Okay, you don't need to say where you are, where you're going, but this has been happening since 2016. The sentients, and what we call the sentients, these are higher spiritual beings. These are beings that already told nations, presidents, governments of this world that they do exist, and it's time for the truth to be out. Okay, a lot of people, the unawakened people, will be awakened. Okay, because there are people who are not aware of what. These are people who are high professional and very highly educated, but I choose not to be awakened. There are pure-hearted spirit, especially if you are a pure-hearted spirit. But if you are someone who is aware that there's difference between heaven and earth, there are certain energies. We can see that things are breaking down, because all of these groups of people, all of these cults, all of these covenants, they're falling apart. Okay, because they're now being exposed. Okay, light has been shed on these people, these situations. They're now exposed. Okay, so I have so much love and admiration for what you have done, but you do not understand that that is your divine part. Okay, each and every person come in with a special divine part. You were supposed to leak this information. We all know. We know who you are. You just never know who you are, but we guide you in the direction to go, so that you could be in the right place at the right time to get the information, so you could alert the public. Okay, we are living in the biggest lies ever. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what you see is not what it is. Okay, what you see, what you're living, it is not what it is. Okay, we were all fooled. Starseeds not, because starseeds is aware that we came only to this planet to help humanity, to elevate humanity. Okay, humans are not the most intelligent beings. Okay, there is going to also be a war with AIs and humans. What they expect us to do is that humans and AI to live as one, it is something that has been pushed on humanity. I don't think that humanity is ready for this, but it is pushed by certain groups of people, which I don't speak about. Okay, each and every one of us is here to do our divine purpose, and these groups need to stay away. This is what I've been trying to explain to a lot of you, is that my purpose on this planet, I never felt welcome. This planet is one of the hardest planets. I think that this planet is just so full of hate and rage and jealousy that it is not. I want to awaken Aquarians. Okay, and the reason why Aquarians is because Aquarians, you carry the energy of the star. From all of the air signs, now Aquarians, remember, we were living in the time of the Pisces. Now we're in the time of Aquarian. Now what this means for a lot of people who were born under the zodiac sign of Aquarians, this means that you need to make the changes, because you were sent here to make changes. That's why you were born under the air sign. You were born under the sign of communication, swiftness, smartness, and understanding. A lot of you Aquarians are losing your way because you come down and you get caught up in this devastating situation of this planet, and you are not accepting who you are as a person. And now that Pluto is in your sign, Aquarian, it is going to be getting heavier and heavier. I want to advise you Aquarians that think that an eye for an eye, it is nothing like that. You need to choose the person who you're going after, that an eye is for an eye, because you cannot go after a person that have only done good for you, and because you want want something and that person say no, that you think that you're going to be going for an eye for an eye. But all the Aquarians who think this way, you are going to be caught up and you're going to be ending up in spiritual jail or the three-dimensional jail. I can express that to you at this moment, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, it is an unbelievable timeline that we're living in. Yeah, this is a timeline between now and 2032. There is going to be so much changes on this planet. Humanity is going to be getting a boost. It's either you're going to be taking the blue pill or the green pill, and it is up to you as a person. If you think that a eye for an eye, then that's what is going to be affecting you. And the person who you're going to be doing that to, you need to understand and try to figure out for yourself and to be honest for yourself. If you try to play a person and a person stand up for injustice and equality and you want to go after that person, I'm telling you from now, you're going to be falling and you're going to be crashing out, okay? There are some people on this planet that is protected by the source of all things, and it doesn't really matter what kind of group or organization or whatever, they cannot go up against someone who is positive and have a pure heart and is good and goes for injustice and equality, okay? And a lot of you Aquarian have this thing, an eye for an eye, but you gotta figure out, why are you going after another person, an eye for an eye? That person has done you no injustice, and I'm telling you, you're going to be falling, crashing out on your face. So back up and think about what you're going to be doing, okay? Aquarian, this is a heavy time for especially Aquarian people because of Pluto in their birth chart, and especially Aquarian that has Saturn in their birth chart that is retrograding, because right at this moment Saturn is retrograding. And I can tell the world and the public, stay away from Capricorn people. Do not try to go up against a Capricorn person because Saturn is in retrograde. Whenever Saturn is in retrograde, that means that Lady Karma is going to be dealing with you. So you are planning for an eye for an eye. You are going to be caught, okay? And the thing about it is that whoever you are as a person that is always thinking about getting back at another person, you got to look at yourself. What did that person did to you? Why you want to get back at someone, okay? You know, you want to push a scenario on a person and a person doesn't want what you're giving. That means you need to respect that person that they say no and they do not want what it is that you're trying to offer them, okay? So you'll just go for an eye because nobody did you anything. You have a mentally unstable personality as a person and you are trying to push things on people. You create scenarios and you create stories that is not based on facts and truth. And this is why Pluto is coming in with the retrograde of Saturn and the Mercury is in retrograde in your opposite sign of the Leo. So Aquarians, this is going to be a hot mess for a lot of you Aquarians out there, because at this timeline with your full moon on the 9th of August, right behind the Lion's Gate, this is going to be affecting you and it's going to be heavy. I want to alert the Spanish people, if you have any Spanish background, you know, your foreparents and that sort of a thing, because you're Leo, you're Lyran, and you have the energy of the lion, okay? That's why a lot of Spanish people and a lot of Spanish cultures eat a lot of meat, okay? Especially Aquarians that is Spanish background, Spanish in your blood. You are going to be facing with a lot of things where Lady Karma, which is Saturn, is going to be hitting you, okay? It is a situation where a lot of Aquarians was not being accepting their fate, not understanding, not want to accept their fate for the things that they have done and who they are as a person, accept their fate that they need to change, because the direction that they have been going in for multiple years is the direction that is going to be bringing them down. A lot of people are going to be self-destructive. Aquarians are one of these people who are self-destructed, okay? And that is the reason, because this year, especially for Aquarians, it's going to be hitting because with this retrograde, this Mercury in retrograde is about lies. It's about, if you are someone who is a compulsory pathological lies, all the lies that you have been telling, the mask that you have been carrying for multiple years is now going to be falling off, because Lady Karma, the house of Saturn, the zodiac energy of Saturn, is going to be removing your mask and is going to be exposing you, okay? So when people talk about an eye for an eye, yeah, you can go for an eye for an eye, but you go against a person who have never done you anything. And I think that you should mentally look at your mental status, because if someone didn't go, you want to push someone to do something that they do not want to do, okay? And that's the problem. Your problem is that you were never told no in your entire life, okay? So you have this thing, because your opposite sign of Leo, it's going to be really pushing you Aquarians to a far level that you really have to focus. You really have to look at yourself, at who you are as a person, okay? So you can go for an eye, but you're going to be falling on your face and you're going to be crashing, and nobody is doing it except that Lady Karma is removing your mask, okay? For the better part of it, because this is going to be heavy for Aquarian people, okay? You have the full moon and you have the Mercury retrograding in your opposite sign of Leo. This is going to be heavy for Aquarian people, okay? And it's no question. It's going to be a heavy ship for Aquarian people. So what we're going to be doing is that, like, Aquarian people who have a mask on or a blot in front of their faces, they are now needing to understand that with this full moon that is coming in, whatever lies, whatever mask they were carrying, it's going to be falling off, okay? So you can go for an eye, but you're just going to be falling and crashing, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we can't just, when people do us things, we need to walk away from people. And especially if you want to push your own idea on another person and the person doesn't want to have anything to do with you, I think it's out of respect that you understand that another person doesn't choose to do and want to do the things that you want to do and have said no to it. And obviously you gotta recognize that this planet is a planet of free will, and by pushing another person to do something that you want, but that person have no condition, is not conditioned to do anything, because that person know exactly what they want, and you want to feed this other person another scenario, that is your problem. That means you have a mental problem. You are not seeing clearly. Your mental collagen is not working, okay? So a lot of you are going to be finding yourself with this. For the rest of the people, especially with Capricorn retrograding, for Capricorn people, this is going to be good, because things that was done to you, injustice, is going to be redone. And what I should also say is that a lot of Lyrans, these are Spanish people, because Spanish people are Lyrans, just like Indians are snake. And yeah, I can explain the whole thing, and these sentient beings that are coming in, okay, they're coming in because they are coming down to pull the bell on what is going on here, okay? This place has become a ghetto. This place has become really sad. It's destroy. Humanity is destroying themselves, and this is why the sentient beings are coming down to let you people know how far you have gone and how bad things are. Okay, we are not talking about the Antichrist, we are talking about the sentient beings. The sentient beings are a group of people that control the galaxy, this galaxy that we are in. Okay, and they are going to be explaining a lot to us. Okay, governments and world leaders were aware and has always been aware that we're living in a couple from a program. Okay, it's like you people were created here to understand, and this was a program. Okay, it's you people are tests. Earth was a test. Okay, Earth was a planet of tests to see if they could have interbreed different species from all over the galaxy in order for it to see if we could all live. It is just a friggin' programming. It's a test. Okay, you are all test objects. All right, we are the star seeds that has lived millions and millions of years that came, because most of the star seeds that is on this planet at this moment is not going to be returning to this planet. This planet is one of the most horrible places to be. Okay, and has a lot of you become enlightened as the sentient beings are going to be coming in, and they're going to be alerting the public, because there are multiple, if you want to understand what is going on, there are multiple people giving information. There is a starship, NASA saw it, all of these organization that study the galaxy, they saw the ship coming. They're light years away, but they're closer than we think. So between now and October, the 29th of October, this is when they decide to enter our surface and our galaxy. Okay, now it leaves the question, and for intelligent people, I think that this is a question for all of you intelligent people, or people who thinks you're intelligent. If there is a couple over the herd, how are they going to be entering the herd? Now, there is multiple ways that they can enter the herd. They can enter the herd from through the oceans, and they can enter the herd from out the South Pole, okay, because the South Pole. Plus, we have other intergalactic points that is on this herd. And if you go back and you look at all the countries that there's war, it's not always over water. It's about an intergalactic port, transit port, where different species from different universe can use it as a door opener to enter. Now, what we were talking, because they were saying that it was the A that was coming in. No, these beams are coming in from Ceres. Okay, so the sentient beams are coming from Ceres. They're not the only one. They're going to be looking like black people or mixed race people. Okay, so they look like humans. They look just like us. But they're coming from Ceres. There are multiple different species from galactic species that will be coming in. Okay, what a lot of people do not understand is that there are certain groups of people who control this planet, but there is an intergalactic federation that is on a ship off into this galaxy. Okay, we have millions of galaxy. Okay, there are a lot of people who are going through meditation and dream time and is entering the space of the galactic councils, and a lot of them are coming back saying that, yeah, it's not people that look like us. Okay, so you have different species. It's like every animal that is on this planet, you have species that is like them. Okay, go back and read my book. I try to explain a lot, but I try to give a lot over species. Okay, there's also multiple species, other species that I never give, but I gave the most important ones that at this time, with this ascension that is going on, is that you are going to be meeting your star seeds if you're a star seeds. Okay, for the earthling people, we are here just to help you earthlings to understand, to let you know that you're not the only beams that is here. Okay, and that, you know, there are multiple intergalactic beams that was never taught. It's not a situation that was taught in school. They're showing up themselves. They have been showing up themselves. Okay. And what a lot of people do not understand is that a group of people, they always alert you people to whatever is going on. Okay, Matrix wasn't made for just a movie. The Matrix was helping people to understand that we are living in a matrix. Okay. And as we started to, like, a lot of people thought that the story with Adam and Eve is that, yeah, Eve bite the apple. No, it's not that. Some people think that they had sex. That's not it also. It's because they started eating flesh. Okay, humanity was not supposed to eat flesh. Okay, you had plants, tree, fruits. Humanity was not supposed to eat flesh. Okay, that is where because a lot of people think that you know, Eve had sex with Adam, but that's not it. Okay, for many years I just thought that it was the apple that they bite, and yeah, I'm spiritual and I'm serious. But no, it was because we start to eat flesh. As we start to eat flesh, what happened is that we block our the connection within our higher self and our soul family. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I can go on for hours, but a lot of people is not ready to understand what is really going on. Okay, all the fallen angels that has come to this planet, there are certain people, they just know that they are fallen angels, and you are going to be reincarnated. You're going to be regaining your souls and your essence. Okay, there's a lot of fallen angels on this planet, and the reason why, it's because they came here to work off the bad deeds that they have done, so they were banished to this planet. So a lot of people just think that, oh my god, this is just so a beautiful planet, and oh my god, and no, it's like what you call the jail, and it's just a big old jail. Okay, so I don't know. I just think half of humanity is just not awakened to, oh my god. I look at people and I just see, I can just understand a lot of people are going through so much at this time, and a lot of people are losing it. They're losing it mentally. They're just losing it because a lot of people are now being confronted of who they are and what they have done. And especially the thing and the spirit, what you know, there are special people that is born on this planet, Capricorn and Aquarians. Capricorns have the hardest because they're governed by Saturn. Aquarians have it hardest because you went through the Aquarian time, and you're coming in the Aquarian time, and it's about communication, internet communication. And as you recognize, as we left out of the Pisces timeline and we started going in the Aquarian timeline, then there comes cell phones. Okay, we only had, you know, like house phone, we are Generation X. And a lot of people need to find out which generation you were born, but we are Generation X, okay? And Generation X, we had it like the heaviest, but I think it was the best time for people who were born 60s, between 1965 to 1989. Yeah, we kind of fall into Generation X, okay? And the thing about it is that we are different, especially people who came in 1969, okay? And the significance for the year 59 and 69, that was the year when all of the earth angels and the star the star seeds came down in order to help humanity, okay? Otherwise, because if you guys remember, because there are certain things that you have to look at. 1969 was the year of the flower power, okay? It was the year of the flower power, and it was about love and life. It was when black people start to integrate with white people. It was about that the flower power, that huge face that party that took place in America for peace, okay? That was the year when a lot of sentience beings came to this planet, okay? All right, we are called sentience beings. The other name is star seeds, okay? What I should say, because I know you guys are coming out. The Anunnaki and the Arturians, okay? So these two spiritual beings are opposite from each other, okay? One is war and the other one is peace, okay? The Arturians are peaceful night dimension beings, and they're going to be coming in and with the energy of these sentient beings, because the sentient beings that is going to be coming in October is going to be advising humanity that they have been living in an illusion, they were lied to, and they are coming to set the record straight. Now, it's either you're going to be choosing to understand, choosing not to understand. So you're either going to be taking the blue pill or the green pill, okay? And this is why I say to a lot of people are like, I know I'm here for a special reason. I know that I'm here to do something good, or I know I'm here for something special, but you cannot really pinpoint what it is. A lot of you are going to be waking up to what it is, okay? A lot of you. And the thing that I want to say, and I'm calling upon the Galactic Confederations and the sentient beings to protect this person that really show evidence, and this was evidence that the sentient beings are on their way, because NASA and a lot of group of organization have been watching the spacecraft coming in. And as I told you guys, I don't know how long you have been watching my videos, but I told you guys when my mom passed away, because I've been constantly questioning a whole lot of things ever since I was young. And I remember I was having a discussion with my mom, and I had the discussion and my mom passed away. I was in America. I was clearing out the house and doing everything. I was in America for 4 years. I returned to Holland, and that's when I cried. I had to be busy doing, because I'm the only child. And I dreamt the night, my mom came and she took me outside and she says, "Oh my God, you knew a lot. It is true what you have been saying for many years. And my thing was, as a child, I'm looking around and I'm thinking, I'm going and I'm researching, and I said, Mom, we're living in like a couple. It's like the herd. We're all here as experiment. And she looks at me and she thought, I said, yes, we're all here as experiment. And I said, there is a huge spaceship. And the weirdest thing is that falling asleep, I have something with falling asleep. And it's like I constantly hear, like I will have a ventilator, and that's a fan. And I will fall asleep with that fan. Many years after I reconnect with my son asked me the same thing. And I said, oh my God. I said, yes, because we are starseeds and we live on a ship because our planet was blown up. And he looks at me and he says, Mom, did you see orbs? I'm always seeing. I said, yes, those were your guardian angel orbs. If you look at babies, you can see these orbs all around the babies. And as children, a lot of us saw those things, but we just thought that was, something around us. And I said, no, those orbs are angel. They were protecting and guiding you. So, ladies and gentlemen, my thing and what I was saying is that I've always said it. I said we are being watched. I said there's a huge spacecraft that is placed to watch this planet. And when my mom died, and that was like a month, because I came back to Holland, that was the first dream I got from my mom. And she came and she said, come downstairs. And it was in the middle of the night. And she said, you were right, look above. And I looked above and there was a huge spaceship covering the earth. And she says, you came in, you remember what you came for. And she said, you'll be okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people, I don't know, but a lot of people do not want to understand that we are living in a matrix, okay? We were told, and I need a lot of people to start questioning things. Why certain things? You need to start questioning things. I'm not saying to go against the grid or anything, but you just need to start questioning things. You need to start looking at life and start questioning a lot of things, okay? So it's going to be heavy. I'm not saying that it's going to be one of those positive things, because a lot of people are going to be freaking out and that sort of a thing. But for the people who listen to me, you can share these videos so people can understand. What is the most powerful thing about this 88 gateway, Lion's Gateway, is that it's going to be bringing a lot of positive abundance, okay? It's going to be bringing a lot of riches. It's going to be opening up a lot of doors, okay? Because this planet was not meant to have the poor and the rich with such a great name. It was made that everyone is equally yoked, okay? And when we say equally yoked, that no one has nothing less than another person, okay? And what happened on this planet is that certain people has too much power, too much money, and it's not equally shared. And this is the reason why. And this 888 Lion's Gateway, okay, that's why I wear this, okay? And for a lot of people, 888, okay? This is the Tree of Life, 369, and this is the 888 portal, okay? The Lion's Gateway portal. So this is why I was pushed to do my numbers, okay? A lot of people said, oh, a lot of people are going to get number, and it's a number of the beast and that sort of a thing. No. The 369 is the flower of life, okay? A Tesla, definitely Tesla. Everything has to do with 3, 6, and 9, okay? It's always in a triangle, 3, 6, 9, and it comes back down to 3, okay? And the Lyra Gateway, which is the oct, It depends on if the 8 is upright or the 8 is in then it is infinity. Okay, but this is the sign of the Lion's Gateway, and a lot of you will ask why I use that sign. And yeah, like this I use on my government thing. So a lot of people who lie, government can know that you are not who I am. Okay, so then I was guided because I was doing my 19 year, because this planet, when people see my light, and like a lot of people, I recognize this and I couldn't understand it, is that I carry a light. I carry a light within me, and this light that it carries within me is to help humanity to understand. And it's about self-love. It's about healing the hearts of people and trying to let people understand that they need to release their trauma. A lot of people hold on their trauma, and what is so good is that I know how to clear my traumas. Okay, and to see that someone who you have a sort of a bond, a trust, a thing there, and you see that person sit and plan because they have another agenda for you, and that's about having eternal love, or having unconditional love for someone, knowing that a person is planning your death, but yet still have the unconditional love to show them your hate and jealousy towards me has nothing to do with me, but it has to do with you. A lot of people are going to be recognizing that narcissistic people are the demons. Okay? A lot of you are going to be understanding that your soulmate or twin flame is a demon, because you are the one with the light. Okay? And what is happening at this moment, and what I was blessed to do, is to heal the hearts of people for them to understand self-love. Okay, I have a birth, my birth part is 33-6. Okay, I'll never return to this planet, and I come with love, 33-6. Okay, so if you recognize, I put this 369, the side of the heart, and it's because 33-6 is actually 3 and 3 is 9, and 6. Okay, I carry unconditional love. That's why I can still love the people who hate me the most, because I'm here to heal those people and their broken heart chakra. Okay, so it's going to be positive. What you can do, I'm going to drop this video 2 days before the Lion's Gateway. All right, I'm going to drop this video as I finish. I'm going to drop it so people can understand. You need to write in a positive affirmation, something that you want to bring into your life. Okay, so if you're going to be thinking that, oh, that person have that, I want that, you're not going to get it, because if you were supposed to have that, you will already have it. Okay, so you have to think about healing trauma, releasing, bringing in unconditional happiness and bliss. Okay, and what you're going to be understanding is that you need to do positive things for yourself. Okay, it's not for another person. So if you are going to be writing that, yeah, I think that I should have that another person have, you're not going to get it. Okay, so I hope that this helped. I do love you guys. Please share these videos. Is for the Lion's Gateway. Namaste.